Have you ever asked ChatGPT or, some other AI for something simple like a blog post or an email, and what you get back is just awful? It's generic, it's bland, or maybe it's just plain wrong. It is such a common frustration. But here's the thing. It's not really the AI's fault. It's kind of ours. And today, we are going to fix that. So yeah, why does this happen, right? Why do these unbelievably powerful tools so often just completely miss the mark? Well, the answer isn't about the AI's intelligence. It's all about the instructions we give it. And we're going to solve this problem for good, starting right now.
Okay, this right here is the critical mindset shift we all need to make. The old way of thinking, we blame the tool. I asked for a blog post, it gave me a bad one, so the AI must be dumb. But the new way of thinking gets to the real heart of it. When you give a vague prompt, you're basically giving the AI an infinite number of choices. It's forced to guess. That generic answer isn't a failure. It's just a sign that we left a massive grounding gap that the AI had to try and fill on its own.
The best way to think about this is with a simple analogy. Imagine you're a director, and the AI is this brilliant, talented, improvisational actor. If you just stand there and yell, "Act," what's going to happen? Chaos, right? They'll either freeze up or just start rambling. But if you give them a character, a scene, and a script, well then, you might just get a masterpiece. Our job is to write that script. So how do we write that perfect script? Well, we use a mental model called the RTCSE framework. Just think of it like a 5-part checklist that makes sure every single prompt you write is complete, constrained, and absolutely crystal clear. Honestly, this is the secret to getting exactly what you want every single time.
All right, let's break down this framework. It's got 5 key parts, and each one has a pretty simple analogy. First up, R is for role. That's like casting your actor. If you skip this, you just get that generic, boring voice. Then you've got T for task. Think of this as the specific drill. Without it, the AI just kind of rambles. C is for context, which is like setting the lighting for a scene. You miss that? The response just feels tone deaf. S is for sources. This is your open book test to stop the AI from just making stuff up. And finally, E is for expected outcome. This is like being a tailor. If you don't give any measurements, you're just going to get a messy wall of text.
So let's kick things off with the first one. R is for role. Now, this isn't about pretending the AI is a person. It's a technical command, really. When you assign a role, you are telling the model which specific parts of its vast training data it should focus on. You're strategically narrowing its decision space from everything it's ever learned down to expert in this one specific thing. And you can see the difference immediately. A prompt like, "help me with a contract," is a total roll of the dice. Who knows what you'll get? But when you say, "you are a senior IP attorney, review this clause for risk," bam, you've cast your actor, you've focused its entire attention on legal language, on risk analysis, on a professional tone. The quality of the output is just worlds apart. Next up, T is for task. And let me tell you, the specific verb you choose here is one of the most critical parts of your entire prompt. Words like analyze, summarize, generate, they are not interchangeable. Analyze tells it to think critically. Summarize tells it to condense. Generate tells it to create something new. Your verb choice really, really matters.
Just look at this example. Asking the AI to tell me about inflation is just inviting a boring lecture, right? You're basically asking for a textbook chapter. But when you get specific, identify the 3 primary drivers of inflation in the Q3 report, you've given it a precise mission. You're not asking for a definition, you're asking for a specific action on specific data. One gets you a ramble, the other gets you an actual answer.
Now for C, which is context. Think of this as the background information that gives your request meaning. Who is this for? Why are you even asking? See, without context, the AI has to guess the right tone, the right style, the right level of detail, and it will almost always guess wrong. I mean, write an email is a completely useless prompt on its own. But watch what happens when we add context. We define the audience, a VIP client. We define the purpose, it's an apology. We even define the tone, empathetic but professional. We've set the stage. Now our AI actor knows exactly how to play the scene. Okay, this next one is so important. S is for sources. This is your #1 best defense against AI hallucinations. When the model just confidently makes stuff up? By giving it specific source material and telling the AI to only use that material, you anchor its response in reality. You nail it to the ground truth. And here's the crucial part. A weak prompt actually encourages the AI to invent things.
But a good prompt, a great prompt, provides that open book test. By saying, use only the provided character sheet, you're not just giving it information to use, you're also telling it what not to do. You are slamming the door shut on hallucinations and forcing it to stick to the facts you gave it. And finally, we have E for expected outcome. This is all about the format. How do you want the answer delivered? You want a list, a table, a JSON object for your code? If you don't specify the length, the structure, and the format, you're leaving that final, absolutely crucial step completely up to chance. Make it better has to be the most common and most useless prompt in the entire world. Compare that to something like output as a markdown table with columns for original, edit, and reasoning. See the difference? It's not just asking for some vague improvement. It's defining exactly what a successful, usable output actually looks like. That's the difference between getting a wall of text and getting a tool you can actually put to work. So now that we've got the RTSE framework down, let's quickly go over 4 common traps that can still trip you up. First, the magic spell fallacy. That's where you just copy-paste prompts you don't really understand. Second, overloading the prompt, asking for way too many things at once. Third, the mind reader expectation, where you just assume the AI knows what you want. And fourth, information dumping, just pasting in a wall of data without separating it from your instructions. And lucky for us, the fixes are pretty simple. Instead of fluffy language like, please be smart, use a direct command like think step by step. Instead of one giant monster prompt, break your task down into smaller, sequential steps. To avoid the mind reader problem, always add a simple constraint, like a word count. And finally, and this is a big one, always use simple separators like triple quotes to create a clean break between your instructions and your source data. So, as we start to wrap this up, I want you to realize something really important. Learning to prompt an AI, this isn't just some niche technical skill. It is training for a much bigger, much more important meta skill, the art of clear, precise, and unambiguous communication. Because at its core, that's what this is all about. Prompting forces you to stop and actually think. What do I really want here? Who is this for? What does a successful outcome look like? It forces you to do that hard, upfront work of getting clear in your own mind first. And I'll leave you with this final thought. If you can master the skill of giving a non-human intelligence a perfectly clear, unambiguous brief, who else in your life could you communicate with more effectively? Your team? Your clients? Your family? The skills are exactly the same. Master this, and you're mastering a core piece of modern communication itself.